Okay, fun. All right, we are recording. So I just want to welcome everybody today. If you guys can mute yourselves, because I know that hopefully I'm not muted. Sometimes that happens accidentally. If you guys can mute yourselves, that would be awesome. And I just want to welcome everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about traffic light eating. I love this community because I have learned so much. I've been a part of this community for it's 17 years this month, as a matter of fact, which blows my mind. And I'll tell you, you'll hear a little bit about my story, but I came from a place of totally not prevention and not understanding anything about fruits and vegetables, except that I didn't want to eat them and my mom wanted me to eat them. So, anyway, I'm super excited that you're joining us. I don't think we had, I know that I was back and forth. Did we have anybody with kids on
No.
today? No. Okay. So, because we wanted them to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt, but that's okay. It's going to be fun, and we can share this video with our, with our friends that have kids later on. So, I am going to be sharing my screen. Let's see. Let me know if for some reason you can't see it, but okay, perfect. Good. So I will tell you, I grew up as a kid and I just didn't know. My mom was a nurse. Again, you'll hear a little bit more about my story. My mom was a nurse and it was all about treatment. Fast food and junk food didn't come out really until like the 70s. Otherwise, my grandparents, they had their own gardens, right? Like everybody ate at home. If you ate out, it was like a huge deal. Nowadays, things are so different. So when I saw this slide 17 years ago, I was pregnant with my first child, and this impacted me so greatly. I remember somebody probably could have come and talked about my health, and I probably wouldn't have been as open as when all of a sudden they're talking about your baby's health, right? Like as moms, sometimes we're just, we'll do anything for our kids, but not so much for ourselves. So Dr. David Katz was the head of the prevention department at Yale University, and he said this may be the first generation of children to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. I mean, let that sink in. We've got modern medicine and people are living into their 70s or 80s, but he's saying that, they may not live as long. And when you think about that, you think they should be living longer. But by the age of 12, many of our children have developed the beginning stages of hardening of the arteries. And I want to share with you that when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, one street over, one of my good friends was a cardiac emergency room nurse. And she came to a presentation where I shared this slide, and she said, Karen, she said that slide needs to change. She says, I have been in surgery with 2 year olds and we see plaque in their arteries. So just how scary and how sad is that at 2 years old they are starting, plaque, they've already got plaque in their arteries. And if you have kids, you take them for some of their wellness checkups. I know my daughter at 10 years old, they take their blood and they see if they have high cholesterol. And a lot of doctors, because they don't know anything about nutrition and prevention, are getting kids started that early because it's been approved on cholesterol medicine. So there's a lot of things we need to do, guys. I mean, as parents and just as adults for ourselves and our kids, there's a lot of lifestyle changes we need to make before medicine. Medicine should be the very last thing we do. 1 in 3 children is obese. 1 in 3 children will develop diabetes in their lifetime. More than 25% of our children take prescription drugs on a regular basis. And the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children as young as 8 can be treated with cholesterol lowering statin drugs. So I don't know, you guys can put in the chat, how does that make you feel to think that, I know when I was a kid, I was kicked outside to go run around, right? Sorry, I've got my wind chimes behind me. Um, I was outside, I didn't eat healthy, but I was moving. There's kids today that are just sitting and they're on their tablets, they're on their phones, and they're not even moving. So we definitely need to do something with our kids. Uh-oh, why is it not moving? There we go. So one of the easy and fun ways I learned, so I'm a Dr. Sears health coach. I became a health coach several years ago. And one of the easy ways is traffic light eating, right? And it's talking all about red light, yellow light, and green light foods. And it's fun. It's easy for parents, but it's also fun for kids. So you guys can share this with any, moms and their kids. So I want to talk about red light foods because sadly, this is the one that impacted me the most as a child up through really my 30s. It's embarrassing, but it's the truth. So traffic light eating red light foods. Red means stop. right? Stop and think before you eat it. So make a different choice or eat a smaller portion. We're not saying you can't eat it, but just think about it. Lower in nutrients, higher in calories. It includes food with artificial sweeteners, hydrogenated oils, trans fat. It's high in fat, it's high in sugar. It's butter, it's cookies, it's donut, it's white bread, it's, soda, ham, like it's all the fun foods, right? It's Krispy Kreme donuts. It's all the fun stuff that we want to eat and that tastes good. So, it's really hard. So I have made better choices, but the stuff that we still have inside the house, it might be better, right? Like Doritos. I grew up eating Doritos. Doritos has a ton of ingredients in it. If you look at the ingredients list, a ton of ingredients in it that you want to stay away from. So one of our guilty pleasures is the Stacy's pita chips. We love those. Okay, they have less ingredients. It is a better red light food, but it is still a red light food. So think about, like the goldfish or the Cheez-Its or, a lot of the stuff that the kids want, right? There's going to be better red light foods, but it's still a red light food. There's a company called Back to Nature, and they make chips and they make cookies and stuff like that. And I know a lot of parents think that because, there's less ingredients and because it's at Whole Foods and because it looks better and there's no GMOs, that it's a health food. It's not a health food. It's still a red light food because it's in a box, it's processed. So we're not saying you can't have that, but you definitely want to keep that at a minimum. That needs to be, we used to call it like a birthday foods, right? Like, nowadays people eat donuts and cake and cookies every single day as treats. And then, how we're supposed to eat is thinking of like a birthday party. If it's a special occasion, if it's a holiday, if it's a birthday party, then yes, have those treats, but it shouldn't be every single day. So my story is, as a kid growing up, I was adopted. I had allergies and asthma that I unfortunately got from my birth mother. And I was told as a young child, I'll never forget, that there was nothing that they could do, right? It was genetic, nothing that they could do. So my mom being a nurse, we had I had the best treatment. Was allergy shots twice a week. I was always getting the allergy testing. I don't know if you guys know anybody with that. It was 20 shots up and down my arms and, 40 up and down my back to see what I was allergic to, allergy prescription meds. I mean, the whole 9 yards. But I was eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I was eating those peanut butter crackers, the ones that are orange on the outside. That can't be a normal cracker, right? Peanut butter, fake peanut butter in the middle. I was drinking Dr. Pepper for breakfast. As I grew up, my habits didn't really change much because that's what kind of built my taste buds, sadly. So whatever you're eating a lot of, that's what your taste buds lean towards, and that's what you crave. So even as an adult, I was in sales, and sales, time is money. So I would stop at 7-Eleven and I would grab a Slurpee and I would grab some pretzels because pretzels were better than Doritos, right? And that would be my lunch. I would drive around and drink a Slurpee and eat, pretzels. So I look back at this and I think, holy cow. So I'm so grateful that somebody invited me into this community 17 years ago. And it's been a series of baby steps of making small changes, right? Eliminating soda. And I don't never drink it, but I drink it if it's a special occasion and we're going out to a restaurant, right? I don't keep it at the house. I drink water at the house, water, water, water. So there's a lot of changes that I've made, and I'm happy to say that I've been off of all medication for almost the 17 years. About 8 months in is when I noticed it. And it's just been remarkable. No antibiotics, no allergy medicine, no more migraines, none of that stuff. So, the red foods, while you do want to try and stay away from them, can still be a treat. Okay, so we are going to go to Nicole to talk about yellow light foods.
Great.
Whoops. We're going to try and go to Nicole and talk about yellow light foods. There we go.
Okay, great. So yellow light foods are a necessary part of a healthy diet, providing different vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients that green light foods, are a little bit or they don't have. Yellow light foods means go slow. And there's some yellow light foods that are once in a while, a sometimes food. For example, and I'm glad you mentioned it, Karen, because my example was my sister invited me to her only granddaughter's birthday party. And they were visiting in town, and she wanted to do something really, really special for her. So she went all out, made, had decorations, and she made the birthday cake from scratch, which my sister rarely does. So it was a big deal. So of course, we're talking white sugar, a lot of butter, and white flour, and just to name a few ingredients. But I had a piece, and with some ice cream on it, and it was delicious. She asked me if I wanted another piece, and in the past I would have said yes, yes, because it was really good. But too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. So and since I became part of the Juice Plus business and started taking Juice Plus, I've made better choices. And now I know that this is a sometimes food. I can have these on special occasions. So moderation, portion control, those are the things that I like to remember. Yellow light foods means go slow. That's basically it. So got to remember that. So green light foods, ready for the green light.
Okay, Janie, I think you're talking about green light foods.
Thank you. I didn't realize I was muted, so thank you for that. So green light foods, green means go, right? Which is awesome. So Dr. Sears also calls these grow foods because they have lots of vitamins and minerals in them. So what are green light foods? Green light foods are things you can grow. I don't know if you can see, but I have a garden back here. So I'm just going to go pick off some greens, and this is about as the best that you can get with green light foods. If you can pick it straight from your garden and eat it, you know it's safe, you know it's healthy, you know it's loaded with vitamins and minerals. I don't know if you can see clearly that leaf, but it's a nice deep leaf of chard, and it's so good. So here's some other examples of green light foods. They're things, like I said, that you can grow. They're colorful. So here's a few other green light foods. Fruits and vegetables, definitely, always. It's oftentimes things that can be eaten raw, but in this case, this is a egg. And so this is an awesome source of protein, which is another green light food. Nuts and seeds. Some of these things, though, can be a red light food for certain people because certain people have different allergies, right? Like my son, he cannot, as good as eggs are for you, they're loaded with protein. He cannot have those. So there's some grow foods or green light foods you have to be careful with. And so you just have to find out through allergy testing and find out if those are a problem, or sometimes you just don't feel your best when you eat a certain food. So, but in general, green light foods are go foods. And so they do include all fruits and vegetables, and you can eat as much as you want of those. We always have a fruit bowl out at our house, and my kids all know, like, anytime, you don't have to ask me, you can always grab from there. It's a very healthy snack. And so with our story, my kids also struggled with what Karen was talking about with asthma, and they just were sick a lot. They caught every cold because when you've got like an allergy or an asthma, it kind of weakens your immune system. So there are medications for that to help with that. So we did go that route for a long time, but they actually kept getting sicker, which was so concerning as a mom. And so I'm so grateful that I was introduced to this community because there's lots of free education with this community like this right now. And so we actually started adding a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to their diet every single day. And kids can actually get it for free. So whoever invited you to this, be sure to chat with them about that, because that was a game changer for us. With those lifestyle changes and adding this wide variety of fruits and vegetables to their diet every single day, their health changed pretty quickly. and will never change again. So we are so grateful for learning all this information, because folks, all your vitamins and minerals, you know, they come from what you eat, and that gets absorbed, and that's how your body has energy. And so to get it from things that you grow yourself, or just all types of fruits and vegetables and good healthy proteins like eggs and chicken, then you can live a long and healthy life. So with that, I wanted to introduce, we actually have a special guest. And so from here, I'm going to pass it over to Nicole to introduce Bobby Broccoli and his friend.
Hi. Where am I? Hello. Hi. Can you see me? Good. Hey, it's Bobby Broccoli, and I'm going to sing the traffic light way of eating song. Green means go, yellow means go slow, red means stop. Think about what you eat before you give yourself a treat.
Bobby,
Oh, Miss Apple.
red means stop. I'm red.
Well, Miss Apple, a traffic light way of eating is a concept. We're not talking about the colors of fruits and vegetables. Oh, we all know we come in a rainbow of colors. Yes. Remember?
Oh, now I get it. Okay.
Green means go. Yellow means go slow.
Red means stop. Think about what you eat before you give yourself a treat. Green means go. Yellow means go slow.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's just the cutest. Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen.
That is really cute.
Okay.
Well, thanks to Bobby Broccoli and Ms. Apple to kind of help reinforce what we've been learning about red, yellow, and green light foods. Again, it's not the color of the food that matters. It's kind of what category it goes in. And so I love this slide because sometimes so far, a lot of times we're talking about what we can't have, but these are just some ideas of how to incorporate all the many, many things that we can have in order to thrive. Up, you'll see in your upper left there, those are nibble trays. Dr. Sears talks about them to put them out for your kids, and because kids teach them to be a little nibbler on healthy things to keep their blood sugar steady all day long. And so this is a great way to set out a bunch of little snacks for kids, and it will go by the end of the day. I've done it many times and it really works well. And for adults, charcuterie boards, just larger versions of this work too. In the center, this is amazing. I love this chocolate strawberry truffle, and that actually just has 3 ingredients: milk, a special secret ingredient, which Lydia is going to talk about next, and then the strawberries. That's it. So it looks like it's a fattening, unhealthy snack, but it's actually got like 7 grams of protein, 13 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, which that's something that is really important about green light foods. It really helps your body so that it can absorb things, break things down, just as we are intended. There's healthy Reese's cups that you can make, believe it or not. And these complete cookie dough bars are amazing. So there's a clean ice cream that you can make that has less animal foods to it, but it's, as you can see by the list there, it's all plant-based with coconut milk, banana, and then this plant-based protein powder that Lydia's going to be talking about shortly. And then peanut butter and apples, like that is such a great healthy snack. And it looks like it's got shreds of coconut on top, which is a healthy fat on top of the peanut butter. So there's lots of options we can do to kind of switch, like Kieran showed from her chips. Like, there's lots of bad chips with food coloring and preservatives in it, but there's also many healthy options that don't have all those added ingredients. I personally love Trader Joe's by us. We get a lot of, my kids love those nasty Takis. I hate to say it, but they actually like those things. And I just don't buy them. But Trader Joe's has a healthy version of those that has a lot of spice to it through cayenne peppers and other peppers. And it also, for the colors, it uses natural colors from the peppers and things. And so those I will let them have. Again, it's not a health food, but it's a better option. So with that, I'm going to pass this off to Lydia so she can kind of talk a little bit more about that secret ingredient.
Hey there. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, everybody. And my name is Lydia Kopika, and I'm a nutritionist. And I'll tell you, a few years back, I was in a busy business and spending a lot of time in my car and wanted something I could mix up in my car. And I, quite frankly, didn't trust all those protein powders out on the retail shelves. They just scared me. And it's hard to know what are clean ingredients. And a lot of things come from China. They've got heavy metals in them. And that brought me to this community. I was introduced to our protein shakes, and they're actually kind of a meal replacement. So when that last slide with all those snacks, most of those were made using our complete protein. And it's actually protein, fats, and carbs, all healthy. And it's 100% plant-based with 15 different plants and superfoods like broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts. And it actually helps get you healthy by feeding the good gut bacteria. And so that's what I really loved about this product and this company. So, and you know what, as parents, I know we always try to do the right thing and feed our kids healthy, but we don't always have time for that. Everybody's busy these days. People are working, kids are in sports, and we're running, all different directions. And so we just have some easy options for you. So then we'll go to our next slide. Karen, do you want to go to the next slide? Sorry. Okay. So how many servings do you think the average American or that you get of fruits and vegetables every day, or your children? Well, as a nutritionist, I used to teach years ago 3 to 5 servings a day, but that number keeps going up. And now they're actually recommended 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And why do we need so many? Why has that number increased? Well, through the years, our food values have gone down. Produce is picked way before the nutrients actually develop. Then it's transported thousands of miles. And I'll tell you, 90% of Americans aren't eating enough fruits and vegetables. I think the average American is getting 1.8 servings a day. So does it make sense that as our consumption of fruits and vegetables goes down, our disease rates are skyrocketing, and we're just not eating the rainbow? So, I mean, I think most of us probably have apples and bananas on our counters every day. Maybe we get a salad, but we're not getting that rainbow of all the different nutrients that we need. And that's what brought me to this company. If we look at the next slide. So what is Juice Plus? Well, basically it's just an easy button in an insurance policy that we're getting all the nutrients we need. So the company found a way to take 30 fruits and vegetables, similar to juicing. They juice it, they remove the water and the sugar, and then it goes in a capsule or a gummy. And again, when I was introduced to the shakes, somebody told me about these capsules, and then they said it also comes in a gummy, and that there's a program where children can actually get the product for free. And if I become a customer, I could sponsor a child. Well, my granddaughter was chronically constipated, and I really thought it had something to do with her diet. And so I'm like, fine, I'll get started just so she can get started. And I'm telling you, within a week, she was going normally. What I wasn't expecting, I have an autoimmune condition, and I was suffering with chronic fatigue 3 hours a day. I couldn't hold my head up. And I started noticing I was having more energy every day. And I thought, here I am, a nutritionist. I'm already eating healthy. Why would this be making a difference for for me. And the more I started learning and just studying, it's again, just getting those extra fruits and vegetables and changing our diets. And so I don't have a perfect diet, but I'm probably 90%, 10%, 90% better. But then also I've got this added insurance policy for myself and my grandchild that we're getting those nutrients we need every day. And that's what it starts to actually work on, helping you improve your, improve disease and getting healthier from the inside out at the cellular level. And a little bit about the study for where the children can get it for free. This has been a 20-year program, and they've been following these children now, and they're noticing 60% were missing fewer days of school. 56% were taking fewer over-the-counter or prescription drugs. 71% were drinking more water, fewer visits to the doctor. They're eating less fast food and soft drinks, and they start actually craving fruits and vegetables. My granddaughter eats red peppers like they're apples now. And so most of these things are actually putting money in your pocket, because when parents miss work, they're also missing out on money. And so it's just helping families get healthier. And I don't know if you could see me, but I've got some of the, these are our capsules. If you could see the rainbow of colors there. And then they also come in the gummies. And these are what the kids can get. They get our fruit and veggie blend, whether they want the capsules or the gummies, they get their choice. But almost 2 million kids have gotten Juice Plus for free worldwide in the past 20 years. And this is part of just what our community does. We inspire healthy living, we educate, and it's not just about selling a product. We include you in our community, and we inspire you to make healthy changes. And then one of the last things we talk about is our tower garden. So maybe, you're not interested in capsules, but you want a way to grow your own vine ripened organic produce every day. And we grow inside and out. But again, it's just an easy system. And if you want more information about the tower garden, it's an amazing state of the art, easy way to garden. So, and we could share more information with you. So this is what we do. We just help bridge that gap between maybe what most of us are eating to what we should eat. And again, we can't all be perfect. And that's what Juice Plus does. It bridges that gap to what you're getting to what we really should be including every day. And so we thank you all for joining us today. I hope you love that puppet show. I thought it was adorable. And we invite you to either maybe reach out to the person that invited you today. There's free resources we have with, cookbooks, clean eating, different information. Maybe you want some information about our community or about our capsules or our children's program or the tower garden, or just how to be part of this community and maybe help, join us and help others inspire healthy living too. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Ava Marie, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Did somebody have questions?
Sorry, I was just saying, thank you very much. Great presentation. I loved it. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining today.
I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed it. I wish that I had a lot of little kids that were on it. Those things that
Yes.
showed with the, putting all the little the different things in the, in the pan. What am I trying to say? The cup,
The muffin
little,
tins. Yep.
Yes.
what they put in the, what Dr. Sears says. Anyway, I have a funny story, and the funny story is my stepdaughter has a 3-year-old, swears the kid would not eat gummies, would not like them, did not like them, etc. So I have raised my children putting things in that and sitting it on the sofa and just ignoring it, and sure enough, we kept him one weekend, and I put gummies and stuff, and I put carrots and things that I knew he liked in there. And the whole weekend he ate all gummies. In fact, he ate more than I gave him. He asked for more. So when she came home, guess what? To pick him up, I said, I'm sorry, Shelby, but he happens to love gummies. I guess you're going to have to get some for him. It was really cool. I was very excited about that.
Oh,
Good move.
yes, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the awesome presentation. It was uplifting, upbeat, and encouraging. So I have an invisible friend next to me. I would like to know how the scavenger hunt would have gone had we had children on board.
What we were thinking about doing is in the beginning, there's two different things you could do, because I know you want to try and do this with your kids. So there's two different ways to do it. And you can, in the very beginning, go have everybody get a couple of their favorite foods, right, from their kitchen. And then what we would have done is everybody hold up your foods. Let's talk about, what do you think? Is that a red light food? Is that a yellow light food? Is that a green light food? So, you know, asking them and getting them to think now, looking at their foods. And then if a different one, if you're doing it for your school, is, you know, a different way. If you're not having all the Dish Plus on the end of it, you could do that presentation. And, you know, let's say you're doing it virtually and they're at their house, you could say, go over the red light foods and then say, okay, everybody go run to your kitchen and go get what you think is an example of a red light food. And then on same thing with the yellow light food and the same thing with the green light food. And then just have more conversation around the red light and the green light and the yellow light foods.
And what
Okay.
I've done too, like with our Cub Scouts, is I would bring like 3 different tablecloths, a red, yellow, and green tablecloth. And I would bring a bunch of like plastic kids food, you know, so you know, they're not touching real food. And then I'd kind of put it in the middle, and then I'd have them pick something and put it on the right tablecloth, like on the floor. That's what I did with our Cub Scouts too. So that's, once you're back in person, that's kind of a nice thing to do to help them apply what they've been learning. And it's, you know, just using pretend, you know, plastic food.
Great idea. Great idea. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Good. Any other questions?
No,
Thank you so much, everybody, for, you know, joining us in the middle of the day. We're so glad to always, I mean, that's the one thing I know we all feel, is we're so happy to help people and answer questions. We just love, you know, we just love what we do. So, and I'll be getting this recording out probably a little later today. So just reach out to the person that invited you in to the event, and then you can get it from them.
Great. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.